أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We welcome all, including those reaching us through Smart Bilal, YouTube, Facebook, Radio 1584 and all Medina media platforms. Today's Jummah lecture at Masjid Al-Haq, entrance of Lodium, Pretoria, South Africa, is entitled Battle of Uhud, Lessons of Overcoming All Social Illnesses. The talk will be delivered by Brother Muhammed, sello, who is a Muslim activist, leadership trainer, a specialist in Palestine matters. Jazakallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And the purpose of my presentation today is to remind Muslims about their responsibility, that is to be an embodiment of the attributes of Allah. Meaning, we should be the people of justice, salam, khoso, lesedi, nur, mercy, and compassion. We should be the people who heal those who are broken by injustice. However, there are few things which will make it difficult, or which makes it difficult for us to fulfill our responsibility of being the embodiment of the attributes of Allah. Hence, I want us to use the lessons of the Battle of Uhud as a tool which will help us to diagnose our problems, but at the same time to come up with solutions. When the Muslims were winning the battle in Uhud, the Holy Prophet ordered them to pursue the enemy out of the battlefield. But unfortunately, because they were excited that they are winning, they decided to lay down their weapons and started gathering the booty. Because of obviously, they could see victory in front of them. But unfortunately, they left their posts to gather the spoils against the Prophet's order. Despite the fact that the Quran instructed us that we should obey Allah and His Rasul. But now I'm asking myself a question: were those who were in the Battle of Uhud, were they the Sahabas whom we admire? Because of when I was going through this, I asked myself a question that these are the Sahabas who failed to take the order of the Prophet. As a result, they were defeated in the Battle of Uhud. But also, Allah also instructed us to hold fast to His robe, and we should not become divided as a community. Unfortunately, in the battlefield, their nafs divided them. As a result, they deserted their post. hence they suffered the defeat. It is unfortunate that Muslims are perpetuating the defeat of the battlefield of Uhud. We are in a constant Uhud state as the Muslim community. Uhud has not stopped. Because of, don't forget, when they went to Uhud, they had that excitement that they won in the Battle of Badr. There was that excitement which at the end of the day made them to forget their posts because of they thought they were going to win again. But unfortunately, they failed to listen to the instructions of the Prophet. Since we keep on complaining as Muslims without strategy or even a vision, we blame everyone except ourselves. We complain about the LGBTQI community, meaning gays and lesbians, that they are marketing their cartoons and films and music to our children as Muslims. My question is, why can't we create our own content as Muslims without complaining about those communities? Because of they are on their lane. Why are we not creating our own content as the Muslims, but we keep on complaining about other people? Why are we not supporting our own filmmakers as the Muslims? Do we have the media strategy for our own propaganda? Because at the end of the day, we must have our own media strategies for our propaganda. The Russians realized that the Western media is not helping. As a result, they created their own TV station. The Iranians, they realized that they are not winning in terms of the battle of the media. They created their own press TV so that they can enter that battlefield with their own content. Within this community, we have a radio station. My question is, are we supporting the same radio station with the content? Because of most of us in this room, they have skills, they have competencies, they have ability to write scripts, content which it can be used in that radio station. But how many of us are willing to go out of our way to support the news papers which are circulating within our communities? Are those newspapers or the media houses which are Muslims inclined or are owned by Muslims, do they have the strategy of embodying the criteria of judging between wrong and right, meaning the teaching of the Holy Quran? As Muslims, we are not supposed to complain about the marriages which the government is not necessarily recognizing if we are following the criteria of judging between wrong and right. It simply means that as Muslims, we don't have clout, meaning we don't have power, we don't have authority, and we don't have influence. So no one cares about Muslims, and no one listens to Muslims, no one respects Muslims, because of the Muslims have deserted their posts, which is encapsulated in the Quran. The Quran gave us instructions, the Quran gave us a vision, the Quran gave us also strategies on how to engage our opponent. But unfortunately, we've decided to disobey like those who disobeyed the Prophet in the Battle of Uhud. So, to a certain degree, we are responsible for what is taking place within our community. And we shouldn't blame anyone, but rather we should start looking inwards and look at ourselves and say to ourselves, have we obeyed Allah and His Rasul? Have we listened to Allah and His Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? And as I conclude, I certainly believe that if we can assume our role or our post, which is captured in the Quran, our situation will improve as the Muslims. And the Quran says, you are the best community ever raised for humanity. Brothers, can you listen to this statement? It says, you are the best community ever raised for humanity. You encourage good, forbid evil, and believe in Allah. I don't know whether Allah was talking to us or was talking to people outside this masjid. Because given our behavior and our circumstances and our state, it simply means we don't qualify for this verse. Because of the state of the Muslim community, it simply says we haven't been the embodiment of this statement. I want to repeat it, our brothers and sisters. You are the best community ever raised for humanity. Ever raised for humanity. You encourage good, forbid evil, and believe in Allah. I'm just throwing this verse to you, and I want us to use it as an evaluation tool, that all of us, we should go back home and look at ourselves and ask ourselves, do we really qualify to be the people whom Allah is talking about? And the next question is, how do we become that community which is raised for mankind? Because we have a bigger responsibility as a Muslim community. And as the last part of it is that Allah says success is for the believers. Success is for the believers. He's not talking about Muslims, but the believers. Are we prepared to enter the stage of being believers, not just as mere Muslims? On that note, I want to thank Allah out of His infinite mercy who gave us this platform to reflect upon this beautiful book, the Quran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.